Hi guys! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hey Adam G. Today, let's still talk about Binibining Pilipinas as its finals is already happening 2 weeks from now. With the national costume and preliminary swimsuit competition finally over, for sure the girls are probably preparing for their big day on July 11. As everything finally culminates on July 11, I think it's best time for me to share my advice about what they need to do in order for them to shine and be their best selves on July 11. What do you think they should do at this point in time? Well, you better stick around for my Binibining Pilipinas 2021 tips on how to win the crown. So for my first tip, finalize your best look as early as now. I think this is the most important advice I could give all these 34 contestants right now. After preparing for more than a year, by now, the girls should know their best look and stick to it during the finals night. At this point in time, with 2 weeks left before the competition, I think it is advisable that they no longer experiment on different crazy hairstyles and makeup looks because we have seen candidates in the past experimenting with fuller eyelashes, glitter eyeshadow, drunk blush, and different lip colors on the finals night before, and it did not work for them during the finals night, remember? Some girls kasi in the past have reserved a look that would make them special for finals, and usually it doesn't do them well. For me, the girls by now should have already figured out that winning look which will suit perfectly for the finals night. Regardless if we have seen that glam before in their past events or photo shoots, listen to how dapat by now they have listened to how their audiences has reacted to them. Kung saan sila pinakamaganda, stick to that. No need for a shock value with crazy hairstyles or trendy makeup. If that is her best look, stick to it. Don't pull out a surprise anymore as it will be too risky on your part. Now, let's go to my second advice. A girl's signature strut should always be able to adjust. Because let's face it guys, we could never really tell what the stage would look like or how the blocking will be on July 11, given that we have to follow quarantine protocols on or off stage. For sure, pwedeng sobrang laki ng stage to accommodate all the girls or a very small one and not all will be allowed to be there at the same time. I mean, I am also expecting that only a minimal screen time will be allotted to a girl's catwalk or pasarela on stage. Whether Binibining Pilipinas will still come out with a big stage or not, dapat at this time a girl's pasarela or catwalk should be able to adjust as early as now. If it's a smaller stage, dapat a girl's stride should be smaller and hindi masyadong mabilis ang lakad. Whereas if it's a long runway or stage, then pwede kayong mag-experiment. Yung mga girls mag-experiment ng twirls and a faster and fiercer walk. I say this advice given that we had seen from the Miss Universe telecast last time wherein a minimal airtime was just given to the girls to execute their pasarela or catwalk due to the small stage use. So sa simula pa lang, dapat when these Binibini girls get called out by their names, dapat pak na talaga dapat yung pose and strides nila. And yung pasabog, hindi dapat nila gawin sa dulo. Sometimes kasi, di ba, may mga girls na sa dulo pa yung pasabog what if hindi sila mahagip ng camera? Also, I think from what I saw in the preliminary swimsuit competition a week ago, the girls were not prepared as much to walk up and down the stairs. Yung iba were looking down and sayang kasi hindi nakikita yung face nila sa camera. Think when, di ba, unlike how Samantha Bernardo did it sa MGI preliminaries last March, she never looked down sa steps. Tuloy-tuloy lang talaga yung lakad niya. It was very seamless. Given that it was a long runway, she executed a walk able to fill the whole camera and hindi pa ulit-ulit ang movements niya. Her twirls were really different. So, ang bottom line is, a candidate should know how to adjust her pasarela to both setup. Now, let's go to my third advice. A girl's evening gown look must scream her target crown. For me, this is the first time in Binibining history wherein all its candidates are divided in terms of which title they would like to win come the coronation night. When the Miss Universe Philippines franchise was still with Binibini, all its candidates had always targeted to win the Binibining Pilipinas Universe crown. So all these girls had been wearing sexy, figure-hugging, thigh-high slits gowns as if they were competing for Miss Universe. Napansin niyo yun, diba guys? But now that the Miss Universe Philippines franchise is no longer with them, this will be interesting to watch how these girls will come out with their evening gowns during the finals night. I know majority of the girls are targeting Miss International, which is a top title right now. So I expect these girls will be coming out with soft, princess-like, and feminine look for the finals. Whether this involves wearing a ball gown or gowns that have pastel colors or hues, it remains to be seen. If that's a girl's target crown, which is Miss International, well, I suggest don't come out in a lava gown a la Catriona because the judges will not see her as the next Miss International representative. Hindi yan ang peg ng pageant na yan. Dapat ang peg nila should be ethereal and sweet, a la Kylie Versosa in her light blue Francis Libiran gown. On the opposite side of the spectrum naman, if a candidate is aiming for Miss Grand International, then the girl will be definitely going sexy, glamorous, fierce with her look and performance. If she is aiming for Miss Intercontinental naman, then I expect the girls to be going for the Karen Gauman or Katarina Rodriguez's peg, which is all about looking alta and cosmopolitan. On the other side naman, if bet ng mga girls ang Miss Globe, then probably it's a mixture of Karen Gauman or Leren Bautista na very regal and sophisticated ang mga pegs. Because, you know guys, let's face it, at this point in time, a judge will definitely score a girl based on how she looks, basing from a girl's target crown in mind. So let's say if a girl is targeting the Binibining Pilipinas International crown, but she looks way too sexy and fierce during the finals night, well, I think she might not end up with the desired title given that her styling screams otherwise. Same way naman if ang target crown naman ng isang girl is MGI and she comes out looking like Kylie or Atisa, then there's a huge chance she won't end up with her desired MGI title. And now let's go to my fourth advice, which is a girl should be able to research on pandemic questions as early as now. Because let's admit it, a girl's response to her Q&A will be crucial whether she will win a crown or not on July 11. So she really has to prepare well for this round. Since we all know that the majority of the Q&A questions now revolve around our current pandemic situation, a girl has to be updated on the news and current guidelines about our quarantine or pandemic situation to defend her answer. So in short, the girl has to do her research by talking to medical experts, or probably her LGU community, kung meron man. You know, because let's face it, the recent Miss Globe and Miss Grand International pageants have shown us that the world's current health crisis will definitely is still topping most of the questions they ask of its contestants. So at this point in time, there should be no more excuses when a girl bungles up on her Q&A. Diba? Kasi diba with more than a year to prepare for this, I expect these girls to be ready to answer any topic given to them during the finals night. So, if the judges ask them whether she should open or close their province for visitors, then alam na dapat ni girl kung anong situation ng province niya na nire-represent niya. I mean, freely available ba ang swabbing? Are the cases really high? Madami bang hospitals that can really accommodate if mag-increase ang mga COVID cases sa community niya? And if they ask about naman vaccination, then these girls have to know the basics. Who are the priority people to get vaccinated? Anong status ng vaccination ng town or province niya? And there is also the possible divisive political questions. So I really expect these girls to be prepared to answer these questions in a neutral manner. And now, let's go to my fifth advice, which is a girl should stay off social media as early as now. I cannot stress this enough further. With a competition nearing a lot of people will definitely start releasing their predictions in the next few days. A lot of the girls will definitely get bogged down if their names are not on the list, and it will definitely bring their confidence down. And because of that, it will translate on their performance on finals night. And another thing, may mga bashers sa online community that can really affect one's girl's mental fortitude. And there will always be people who will nitpick lahat ng pwedeng sabihin or makita nila sa kanila. And if that's one of the girl's insecurities, pwede talagang makaapekto sa kanila yon. Ang akin lang naman kasi, these girls have come so far, so sana hindi na sila magpa-apekto sa mga opinions nila or to let these opinions get to their heads. Because, this is really advisable para these girls don't get affected if they read a lot of praises for their fellow candidates on social media. Sometimes, guys, it really affects a girl's mindset. And for me, it's really best to be unbothered by these things so that a girl can really focus on her game plan. I liken this strategy to how Atisa Manalo won Binibining Pilipinas International last 2018. I remember she wasn't very active on social media when she was competing, and we were just pleasantly surprised how she performed so well during the finals night. That's why she won the second highest title during that night. I mean, if Catriona weren't competing, she would have definitely won the Miss Universe Philippines title that night. So I think these girls can learn a thing or two from Atisa in terms of how she nailed her game plan during the coronation night of 2018. So all I have to say is, guys, wag nang silang mag-social media as early as now and focus in the competition na lang with only 2 weeks left. Dapat at this point in time, mag-self-care na sila, get in as much sleep as possible, and hydrate, exercise. For sure, these girls want to be their best selves come July 11. And now, my last advice is, stay at home as much as possible. At this point in time, a candidate should limit her trips outside to protect herself from contracting the virus, even though they all got fully vaccinated already. Because let's face it, guys, all these girls are being tested for the virus, and it will be such a waste if we hear news that a girl will be disqualified because she is sick. Because to be honest, she could be the most prepared, but if she is aligaga or all over the place by sneaking in some dinner dates or private events with friends, then she might be cancelled on social media or not be able to return to the pageant and compete. And that will be very, very, very devastating. So if she really has to go out, then she has to make sure that she still practices safety and health protocols for her protection. Remember, they've all been waiting for this moment to come. They have waited and prepared more than a year for this, and so for sure they wouldn't like to risk this for something short-term or petty. So I really advise these girls to stay at home as much as possible. So there you go, guys. What do you think about my tips and advice for our current Binibining Pilipinas candidates? Do you find it quite right, justified, or OA? Well, if you will ask me, these are all sound advice for their welfare. I think this advice is only unique to them as they are competing at a time of the pandemic. So there are really extra precautions these girls will really have to do on top of their training and preparation for the coronation night. Alright, guys. See you in my next video. Bye!